All right, guys. Yeah, thanks, Harvey, and thanks, Danny, for the presentations and the demo. And welcome, Kurt Brown, and to our panel session. And I really would like to start with you. Could you tell us a little bit more about Unboxed and the value that you guys bring to the table in this solution?
Absolutely. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your webinar here. We're excited with the partnership, but we think it's a real good synergy between the two companies. And just a high-level pitch of what Unboxed does. We are a modern product discovery platform. The cornerstone of that is AI-driven e-commerce search platform. But as you saw in the chart, we have multiple products as well, either as a full platform or a la carte. But the cornerstone really is that site search, that AI-driven site search. And the challenge we see in the space today is a lot of the modern search engines all kind of sound the same. They all say they have AI. They all say they're machine language driven. And I think what separates us is that we truly do use an artificial intelligence platform that separates us from the competitors because we use a lot of data. And then the data is the most important part to a machine learning system. In order to really have those algorithms learn, you have to have data. And we do. We have an awful lot of data that we've collected over about 7 years now, scanning about 150,000 websites. We continue to do it every day, and we're building out a global warehouse of data that continues to feed it. So when we think about what separates us from the competitors and what makes us different is the amount of data that we collect, our truly next generation artificial intelligence that gives the consumer an advantage in finding products that are looking for really relevant products. That is, I would say, the cornerstone of our AI is solving that relevance problem.
Fantastic. No, that makes an awful lot of sense. And you've been talking about the competition a little bit. Who would you consider your competition in this space, Kurt?
That's a great question. We break the competition into two kind of buckets. We have the traditional search engines that really are rules-based, kind of legacy solutions. We consider Endeca one of those. We would even put, the open source solutions like Solar and Elasticsearch in there. Reason being is they are traditionally manual rule-based search engines. Then you have more modern search engines that do use artificial intelligence. They have some machine learning capabilities, your Bloomreaches, your GroupBys, companies like this. They all kind of have this methodology of one size fits all. We've got this AI, we got these algorithms. Doesn't matter if you're an automotive or if you're an apparel or if you're a big box company, you're going to get the algorithms that kind of basically we give to everybody, and it's a one size fits all. I think what separates Unboxed from competitors like that, one is we do have the algorithms are tuned for vertical specification. So if we think about automotive, we've tuned our algorithms specifically to manage Fitbit, which is an automotive industry standard for finding the right model of car, the right year, and the right part that fit it. Our algorithms tune for that specifically, that specific vertical. We do the same thing for healthcare verticals, B2B, B2C, apparel as well, big box. So our algorithms really are not a one size fits all. They're tuned for the vertical. And then even deeper than that, we tune them specifically for your business. So if you think of something like a high-end furniture company where they're selling $2,000 or $3,000 couches online, conversion rate may not be the most important KPI for them. It may be something like average order value. Those are things that we can tune our algorithms to improve upon. So even though there is a broad field of traditional site search engines and modern site search engines, we think we have something very unique when it comes to optimizing the site, and we actually guarantee conversion. We have a conversion guarantee that we work with our clients to ensure that whatever that guaranteed conversion rate needs to be, we can guarantee that we can hit it because we're confident in our underlying artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities.
That's interesting, by the way, because I have not seen that with the competition conversion guarantee. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. And I think we should definitely do a deeper dive on the Unboxed capabilities in the construct of this solution, right? So I think we should do a follow-up webinar at some point where we can dive into that as well, and then we basically use the same environment that Danny just showed so people can really see the power of your product.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you again.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no problem. I got to. So we've been talking about pain points in the commerce space, right? And I would like to go to the depth guys, because they talk to end users quite often, and helping them to transform in this highly competitive space. Danny, what pain points do you typically see with people that are in this space, and how do you see the solution that we just presented address those pain points?
So I think the biggest things that people will see from using solutions like this one are the ability to adapt. Okay, the ability to alter and move their business in the directions that their trends and analytics are telling them to go. So from a business perspective, you can be more agile and work with your customers from that perspective, and bring in things like Unboxed into the mix. commercetools, bringing those insights and capabilities to search and actually surface relevant results based on those insights is going to be a much easier thing to do with solutions that are designed in this way and powered by headless capabilities and technology like dotCMS and commercetools. From a technical perspective, a lot of the challenges that medium and enterprise-sized businesses we see suffer from a lot is that development overhead. So development always seems to be, or technical teams always seem to be a really large cost center because they can't move as quickly. And mostly because of large systems that have been embedded in for years and years, and there's a lot of dependencies on them and how they move, and you get kind of stuck. Now, this different approach, this solution, means that a lot of the lightweight framework that exists supplies the interactions you need with the providers that you want to use. It's very plug and play almost, the way it works. And you can focus on just designing pieces and building pieces to support those trends as they change. So as a developer, or on the technical team, or as an architect, whatever you are, you're really just addressing that minor case. And you can move faster with the business. So IT becomes a much more relevant space for businesses to work together, rather than thinking, oh my God, I've got to do this new feature and it's going to be 6 months before I can get it implemented. And those are the kind of things that we try to address with solutions like this. And if you think about the velocity at which you can develop with things like dotCMS and its APIs, and certainly commercetools as well, both of which are very fast to build with. So you're increasing productivity across the board, while giving people good experiences both from the end user and actually from the editorial space as well. So I think those are the things we're trying to address, and that's only going to get better the more the solution gets enhanced.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Danny. I think you nailed it there. I think the flexibility from a technology perspective, but also time to implement and time to value, much shorter. A no-code CMS obviously drives digital marketing agility. That definitely makes sense. But I want to go back to Kurt. So how about the ramp up for Unboxed in general? I mean, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. We again find that to be a differentiator here at Unboxed. Looking at the competitors and the time to go live with some of these more complex site solutions, and whether you're building it open source yourself. We saw a project at one of the biggest retailers in the country take 18 months to stand up an open source site solution. Even some of the modern providers out there, the modern vendors that support modern site search, can take anywhere from 9 to 12 months to stand up. We actually get it done in about 6 to 8 weeks, and we have a unique way that we stand these integrations up. It definitely falls in line with the headless story, where we use APIs, but we have a unique approach to how we stand up these systems, and we actually guarantee our integrations in a 6 to 8 week time frame as well, which again is unique in the industry. I haven't seen it, and I've only been at Unboxed for about 9 months now, but I haven't seen it in my career any company that guarantees integration time frame. So it is definitely something that is unique in the space. I think it is a unique approach, and they've had a lot of success with it as well.
No, that's great stuff, because if I look at it pure from a CMS perspective, and again, depends obviously on the complexity of the implementation and the integration points, right? Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks can definitely get you pretty far, right? So that would align pretty quickly. So that's a huge differentiator for sure. Now, Harvey, is there anything you would like to add to this point, the pain points that we want to address here?
I think we're all in the sort of same space, really. I think that the challenges we constantly see with our clients is about pace, and you know, that's not only sort of implementation of putting systems in, and you know, obviously, you know, we've seen experiences with clients with more traditional platforms where they're taking, you know, a year or more to get platforms in. But it's also as sort of Danny was highlighting, the pace and ability to adapt to change. So we, you know, where the internal teams or the partners aren't having to introduce great big long sort of development and rollout cycles to get new features out or to get new experiences out to new channels for customers. I think that's absolutely the primary driver. And I think this solution, in terms of, you know, this combined solution, commercetools, dotCMS, and Unbox, in terms of ability to roll out, adapt to change, and to integrate with some of those other platforms you highlighted in the sort of Gartner diagram, I think that's the absolute key here. And you know, that's addressing the primary challenges that customers have, which is, you know, getting experiences evolved and changed rapidly to their customers, and in this context of being able to and needing to deliver sort of very personalized experiences to increasingly demanding customers.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And you hit on company adoption, right? I mean, I think that's equally important. I mean, it's not just the implementation. It's obviously teams, people that have to work with the product. So company-wide adoption and an internal ramp up for, you know, marketers and merchandisers is equally important. Now, from a CMS perspective, yeah, we offer online training. It's free, accessible for everybody. And you know, if you have a tutor-led training, it's 2 hours and you're good to go. For commercetools, it's, I think, identical. Kurt, how does that work for the tools that you guys offer for merchandising?
Yeah, it's similar to that. You know, we do have an onboarding team, customer success team, that does go through extensive training on how to utilize the tool. It's usually remote. We do it remotely. It doesn't seem to be too complex. The tool is very intuitive. We have online videos as well. We usually see 1 to 2 days of training for our administrative console, and then you know, the end users are off and running.
Right. Oh, that's exciting. Now, if we're talking about which customer would be the ideal customer for this overall solution, right? And I can definitely answer that from a CMS perspective when you're talking about licensing and implementation fees. What's your take on that, Harvey or Danny, from an agency perspective? Where do you see this fit in the retail segment?
I think definitely sort of mid-market to enterprise. I think one of the things that you know, we're finding increasingly surprising is, you know, some of it's the level to which sort of enterprise clients who've sort of sat and worked with sort of traditional platforms are now sort of open to the idea of moving towards these sort of headless abstracted solutions, because they've been in those sort of long development and sort of upgrade cycles, and they just, again, it's addressing this challenge around pace. So I think definitely mid to enterprise, but you know, I think you know, the bulk of our clients are starting to think about this type of implementation, this type of space for their solutions.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more from a CMS perspective. I agree that that's what I see in our, you know, customer base, mid-market to enterprise. A couple of sections here and there. Harvey, do you have any comment on that? Anything you'd like to add?
Nothing to add to my sort of previous comments, to be honest, Stefan.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. I'm just looking at the questions. I think we have no more questions from the audience. Any final thoughts before we wrap up, guys? Kurt, can I start with you? Anything you'd like to state as a final statement?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again for the dotCMS team for letting us be a part of your webinar, and we look forward to further, further partnership, further working together. And certainly, if anybody that participated would like more questions about Unbox, happily ready to answer those and address those directly. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Kurt. Harvey?
Yeah, I guess just to say, I think we're excited about the work we're doing with dotCMS, commercetools, and with Unbox. We're really confident that this sort of new abstracted headless approach is right within the marketplace, and given our client challenges and the customer demands, and we'd be happy to speak to people in the space to sort of work out how we can support and help them, with the solution and from our perspective as an agency.
Great, thanks. Danny, final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, for anyone on, really just watch this space. This solution's been tuned and honed over 10 years of experience, and it's always exciting working with you guys as well at dotCMS. The pace at which we're able to create these things, and I think one of our ultimate goals, Stefan, is to get this out to multiple technology stacks, right? Edit mode anywhere was a massive step in that direction. SPAs, you guys have done a great job on the reference implementation, and we want to bring standard Java, .NET framework, and core implementations to the mix as well. And this is the first phase of that. So watch the space for further webinars and tech deep dives and stuff, and new features we're going to launch together. It's going to be a really exciting time for these three platforms all working together in a single driven solution. It's going to be really good.
Absolutely, thank you, Danny. No, I appreciate the partnership as well, and I definitely look forward to continue this route, because I think what I really see in the market is a need for agility, a need for flexibility, not being stuck in monolithic solution, and also the focus on time to value, right? So conversion and guaranteed conversion, I think, is definitely an area where we can differentiate, as a solution to our market. So I'm super excited. I would like to thank everybody on the panel. Thanks for joining me, guys. Audience, thanks a lot for joining, and look forward to talk to you soon.